I've gotten a few questions on how I reset for a new year and how I'm resetting for 2026. Now, for me, my new year doesn't actually start till February. That's always been the case. My birthday is in February, but also January is so intense. I just feel like there's so much pressure on January after December, and so I like to take it easy. And to be honest with you, for the first time ever, I finally start the year like a normal person. I'm not writing exams or doing anything crazy. So here are a few things that I actually do to reset for my year. The first thing is looking back at the year before, so 2025. And for me, I do a simple table. So it's a 2025 small wins table. And what I do is that I literally just go through every month. I go through my pictures, I add in pictures, I reflect on each month, I see things that I enjoyed. And this has to do with all aspects of my life, not just my career. And I think it's a good way to just kind of see what worked and didn't work. And for you to also understand there's so many things that are amazing apart from that thing that looks like the accomplishments. Like one thing for me was there was one year, I think it was 2023, I became a godmother, and that was one of the best things ever. And it's not something I would necessarily have shared on LinkedIn or like Instagram, but for me it was a huge achievement and a huge honor that they would have me be a godmother. So I added that to my wins table. Now, once you've done that and you reflected a little bit, it's really important to know what worked and didn't work. Now, for me, I had a whole list of things that worked, but I also had a list of things that I could do better and things that didn't work. And why that's important is that I can actively bring that into 2026 so I don't make the same mistakes. And guys, you don't need to make this fancy. Just write it in your notes or in a Word document what worked and didn't work. It just allows you to have a better overview of the things that you want to bring forward. And the third thing I do is dump all my thoughts and my ideas and the things I think are cool, things I wish I want to do, things I didn't do in the year before, things that people have suggested I'll be good at. This is not planning now. It's just a brain dump of everything. And you can go through this in different aspects of your life. So personal, finances, career, passion projects, all of that. Just dump it. After you dump it, then we can now start planning and seeing what makes sense at different seasons. So for me, again, I don't plan the whole year. I actually plan in seasons, which I can speak more about because this video is getting quite long. So yeah, let me know if that was helpful and if you want another video on how I actually plan.
I want you to know that March is actually the perfect month for a reset if January didn't go how you imagined. But I need you to start easing into it this month in February. January already came in loud. Everybody was talking about discipline, grind, waking up at 5 a.m. And if you didn't hit the ground running, it felt like you was already behind because people just came in hot. They were talking about January and December and November and September. So I want you to hear me out. It is not too late. It is actually the perfect time because I do not look at January as the time to restart and do everything over. I just look at it as to just continue doing what you were doing in December and we can start tweaking as we phase out of January. And the reason why I say this is because I want you to ignore all of that motivational content that comes in January. And I want you to ignore it because it can be overwhelming. It is overwhelming. And once that content dies down, guess what happens? Your motivation does as well. So I want you to continue being consistent and disciplined with what you are doing already. And then once we fizzle out of January, we can start trying to make some tweaks, which is what we're doing now in this video. So if you didn't do a January reset, this video is for you. February is actually the perfect time to reset your life and habits and your mindset and all of your self care routines. Well, not all, but you get what I'm saying. Spring is almost here. And spring has always symbolized new beginnings and renewal and just rebirth. Psychology, psychologically and energetically, just look at the new plants, the baby, like if you're a Christian, Easter, the new baby chicks, they have it chicks for chicks as a symbol of Easter and all of that. It's like the birth and just new, fresh colors and sunlight and fresh air. So if you feel like you're waking up again right now, that is literally telling you spring is on the way. Now is really the time to try to get yourself together. Buckle up. So, I want to talk about why I feel like February is actually a good reset month. I don't want to say it's the real reset month as if it's the end all be all, because I also feel a type of way about March and April. And it's because of that spring era. That's where we get in that different weather, more sunlight. So I feel that way about February, but I also feel that way about March and April, especially March and April. Because February we're still more so on the winter side. But anywho, is something a lot of people don't talk about. Like psychologically, January is about pressure, and it's not about transformation. January, everybody is pressuring you to do something new, to stop what you're doing, abandon what you're doing, and make a whole new everything, whether you know it or not. Studies on behavior change show that most people abandon New Year's resolutions by mid January. And that's because the expectations are too extreme. Their habits aren't emotionally supported. It's just like you're doing too much too fast. You really need to get a grip. And people try to change everything at once. February, on the other hand, is a little quieter. Well, actually, it's a lot quieter. Literally, get on TikTok and scroll. It is a lot quieter right now. It was so much chaos in January. End of December, January, it was literally so much chaos. I had to close the app. There's less noise right now. It's less comparison and it's very less performative. That new year, new me stuff, it's out the window. I honestly feel like it was out the window around about January 3rd. See, right now where we're at, this is when the change you want to come actually sticks. This is when you get those real results because it's going to actually stick. Because you're choosing to intentionally do the work and not socially with everyone else on social media. And as you know, ladies, this month's theme is about self care. It's about hyper focusing on us so we don't self destruct and so we don't become a hater. So our life doesn't pass us by. And 3 years from now, we look up and we're like, what did we actually do? The theme for my content this month is simple, but it's straightforward. It's going to get you there. Take care of yourself so you don't become bitter, burnt out, or resentful. You don't want to be a burned out Betty. Anybody out there named Betty? No shade, no tea. So, as you know, when we don't reset and we don't get any rest and we don't create a full life for ourselves, it's going to show up as irritation and comparison the most. We're going to be just irritable. And a lot of times it shows up as hating on people that are actually doing better and that are actually doing the work. And we're also going to feel behind and we're going to feel numb. So that is why I'm asking you to participate in a February reset. You need to sit down and ask, what do I need to pour back into myself so I don't lose myself this year? All of that chaos from January is gone. All of that loud noise is gone. It's out of here. We've calmed down. We're chilled. We're about to go into spring. So get a pen and paper. You can pause the video and do this journal prompt now, or you could just write it, save it for later, take notes. But ask yourself, what do I need to pour back into myself so I don't lose myself this year? And this is what your February reset is going to look like. And it's not going to be about being perfect. That's how you stay stuck. Remember what I said? You're going to look up in 3 years and be like, oh, what have I been doing? And it's you've been trying to be perfect. You've been scared to take that next step. And before you know it, too much time done passed. So your February reset is going to be about reestablishing your basic routines, your eating habits, your hygiene, shaving, waxing, or using some Nair. I do Nair weekly, if not weekly, every 2 weeks. I'm hairy, but I'm not a hairy person. It's kind of like when you could hear some white people say, how do they only wash their hair once a week or once every 2 weeks? And then we're like, well, how do they wash their hair every single day? It's different. So I don't Nair as much because I'm not as hairy. It's the same logic. You're also going to reconnect with your hobbies and your interests. Don't do it all at once. And don't do what doesn't fit you in this season. If you like to sew and knit, in the wintertime, don't try to start doing it now. Do what you usually do in the summertime. Start swimming. I'm sorry, do what you usually do in the springtime because it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming in hot. I'm sitting right here at my desk looking out the window, and spring is about to come in tenfold. So you need to start cleaning up your environment. Spring cleaning is there for a reason. It shouldn't be much to clean because we're supposed to be cleaning every season, but you need to go ahead and start cleaning up your environment. Find 5 things every day that you don't need, throw them away, or donate them. Every day. Put them in a bin outside your house, on the porch, on the side of the house. And at the end of the week, take it to donate it or empty that bin in the trash. You also need to get back into your body. You need to know your body. And you need to decide how you want to feel this year. This is going to be so important. Not just what you want to achieve, how do you want to feel? Because psychology it tells us it's the proof is in the pudding. Your behavior follows your identity. You've got to change your identity first. And then that behavior is going to be quick. And your identity is going to be built through those small consistent actions. Let's take a quick pause because if you're someone who needs structure, reflection, and daily guidance while you're resetting, this is exactly why I created my 30-day glow up journal planner. It's going to help you reset your mind, create routines that actually fit your life now and the life you want. And it's also going to help you reflect instead of shame yourself. And you're going to learn how to evolve intentionally instead of emotionally. If you're serious about glowing up this year, mentally, emotionally, and physically, that journal is there to support you and is linked below in the description. All right, let's get back to this reset. Let's talk a little bit about this spring psychology and new beginnings. There's a reason you suddenly feel motivated again. Seasonal psychology shows that as we get closer to spring, our energy and hope and motivation is going to increase. And the brain becomes more receptive to change. So if you're feeling like, okay, now I'm ready, that is not you being late. It is you literally being on time with the universe or, the world, the seasons, God. It's you being aligned. So that's why a lot of people, just like I think the Chinese, they do their New Year's sometime in the middle of January. If I go based off the seasons, I don't feel like the New Year should be January 1st. I don't feel like it should be in January at all. I feel like the New Year should be closer to spring. It's like the world opens back up in the springtime. Do you feel like that? Do anybody feel like that? Leave a comment below because that's how it feels to me. Even though we're outside dilly and dallying in the winter, it feels like everything opens back up in the spring. So, in order to stay focused on this reset for February, you're going to need to set some non negotiables. So, if you're going to reset this month, I need you to focus on one habit for your body, one habit for your mind, one habit that's going to bring you joy, and you can combine them. One habit for your body could also bring you joy. Maybe you could do aerial yoga. That's good for your body and it could bring you joy. Also, I need you to focus on one habit that supports your future self. You don't need to overhaul your life all in 1 month. It's not going to work. You see, those people in January fell off by the third day. You just need consistency and to trust yourself and give yourself a little bit more self care. And if you trust yourself, that self care and consistency is going to come. You've got to do the work in order to trust yourself. That is how women rebuild themselves without burning out. I literally just almost did this. I almost created a plan to where I was about to scrape my plan that I've just started and do a whole new one because I just got ahead of myself. But when I sat down, I was like, I'm not going to do that because I know better. So, all right, ladies, if January didn't work for you, just let it go. We're going to look at February as our invitation to start over again. Because now that everything has kind of mellowed out, we're calmer. We're making what word am I looking for? We're basing our actions off more wiser decisions and we're a little more intentional. Trust me, you're right on time. You are not behind. If this video helped you, make sure you like it, comment, and subscribe. I have more videos on resetting, self-care, and evolving as a woman, and resources linked below to support your glow up journey. This is Pretty Girl Rich Era, evolving into womanhood, where we heal, level up, and become the best version of ourselves. See you in the next one.